Hi, Carrie. How are you? Hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Aguilera. Hi, Samantha. Let me take these off. Hold on one second. How's everybody doing? Hi there, Miss Mendez. How are you? I hope everybody's doing well. It's hot. How's everybody doing on this Saturday night? I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you. I'm glad you are having an amazing day, sir. Thank you. Thank you for replying. It feels like a Samantha says it feels like a Friday. For some reason, we know why it feels like a Friday. Hello, hello. This is Vanessa Tijerina coming at you live here in the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas. Hi, Miss Mendez. Oh, I know. I've addressed that on my page. I've addressed that on my page already. That's the reason that this is one of the first videos that you're watching of mine. This is a survival page, okay? You know, by this time, if you don't understand that, you know,
what a power.
When I say it, this is not the page for you. It's not the page for you, nor does that energy that you possess align with this page.
So I'll wait.
Or with my purpose. Kindly. Hello, Miss Henley. How are you? Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lopez. Gracias. Thank you.
I'm not monetizing.
Thank you. Yes, that's the reason that I reactivated. Those of you that have been following my survival story.
The reason she reactivated because somebody said something. But I thought she didn't care if people talked about her. I thought nothing affected her. Yeah, I can't find anything, and apparently, I don't know. I'll find something out. I'm going to dig this week, but she's just being her usual self, so I figured nothing happened. Probably everything just got dropped or dismissed or whatever. Not everything, but that one particular case. Punky, what up?
Right? You all know what I survived, who I've survived, right? Who I'm surviving. And y'all, if you've been following me for a long time, you know precisely why I reactivated, right? That reason that I reactivated is the reason why back when it was lie after lie after lie after lie, literally just a bombardment of lies about my life, directly and indirectly and all that.
So I'm positive she's talking about her neighbor that she's got to. I call it a back and forth. Hmm. You know what? I just, it's hilarious that she says she's on hiatus and she had to come off a hiatus because of this, because some video that her neighbor did, and it's dumb. But okay,
Over a year ago, leading up to a year ago, and up until just very here recently, that human is the reason that I could never go on a hiatus. Mm-hmm.
just an excuse, just an excuse.
I,
Hey Tony, what up? No, I just been on for 11 minutes, 12 minutes now, and it's only 5 minutes into this thing. And then her first 2 minutes are, silence. So you didn't miss much.
I'll always believe that that person had something to do and was not investigated. Only the people that were in the room. Those of you that know that I survived a brutal hate crime, right? Where they only beat my face.
If you guys haven't seen her in a long time, some of you are just visiting, haven't seen her for a while. You're probably going to hear a lot of the same stuff you heard the last time, whenever it was that you heard her. The story has changed just a little bit here and there. It gets tweaked along the way. She fixes it whatever she needs to fix for whatever her reason. But it's pretty much the same.
For 3 hours without stopping, not one time. That's a very personal goal.
That's right. We're the ones surviving, right?
Mm-hmm. Nobody will ever convince me that the people who were in the room that day had anything against me personally enough to do that to me of their own volition. Mm-hmm. Without being bribed or given some kind of incentive. And they were so young that they I know it's not most likely, I know they do not know that they were perhaps finessed by older people. Yeah. Christina Cole says, "Oh, I love you. Y'all are being so sweet." I haven't looked because I'm like, okay, well, I'm hated a lot. I have a survival page.
And my little sound effects are not working today. My apologies. But if they were, you would hear a bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit. Yes.
No, I have a survival page. So, nobody's just going to have a survival page. It's hard enough for people to put a profile picture. It's hard enough for people to post an unfiltered picture. It's hard enough for people to post a recorded video. It's hard enough for people to go live. Right? Nobody's going to have a survival page.
Nobody needs a survival page. People just deal. And they get on with their lives. And they deal while they're living. Which is, I guess you can call it surviving. But they don't have to go live 2 hours a night 3 or 4 times a week for 10 years to survive something. People survive, they deal. If it's real trauma, they get some help and they get through it. So just because they don't go live, it doesn't mean that they're not surviving.
For, you know, for something that's not serious. Yep. And so because that's called vulnerability, so I was forced to make myself vulnerable. In fact, it wasn't until 2023 that from 2014 to 2023, I was just help me, this is happening to me. These police, I don't think all police and law enforcement are bad, but these that did this to me, these that are targeting me, these that are using our local, state, and all kinds of resources and monies and grants and all that to prosecute me and to make me look bad, to the world or anybody who has yet to be introduced to me, or to change minds about people who have already made up their minds about me that I am not who they are trying to portray me to be, right?
What up, Lola?
That's when I was doing all that. And then in March of 2023, I said, you know what? That's when I did my first live video, and I said, I'm going to start to be... it was 2 years after they did that to my face, right? And I said, if they're trying so hard, there's a lot of hate pages, and I'm telling you this because there's going to be probably some hateful people that are going to come over here.
Oh boy. So yes, she just finished her live right before midnight tonight. So literally less than a half an hour ago. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding.
I'll choose to deal with them. Sometimes I'll deal with them, and lots of times I do, and sometimes I'll just ignore them. It just depends. And sometimes if I feel that they are one of the people who I believe they were never investigated in that hate crime against me, and
so that's one of her key phrases. I believe, and that's her way of keeping this thing alive. Which there is no investigation. The case is closed. It's filed away. It's put in a box. It's in a basement somewhere of some courthouse. It's put away. It's colder than a witch's tit. It's put away. It's gone. Buried. They put it under the freaking courthouse. That's how gone it is. So this one is like Candace Owens. Because Candace Owens said that a few times, I'll always believe, I will believe, I will always believe, I will always believe. But then there's no evidence to support it. And that's what she keeps doing. I'll always believe. I'll always believe. It's like, yeah, you know what? Nobody cares. They ruled everybody out because they went around. Police know what to do. Investigators know what to do. Detectives know what to do. They know what to ask. They know where to look. And if they don't rule somebody in, it's because there's no reason to. So...
And I believe that it's their energy that had the nerve to come to my live video.
Hi, Laura.
I would point that out also. And you all have been following me so closely, some of y'all, that even you all can now sense and pick up on those energies. And I don't even have to say names at this point. It is so flagrant. It is so blatant. It is so obvious. It is so... It goes unsaid who these people are.
Look at that. 2 is the exact same comment. Great minds think alike. She makes herself look bad. And then Sean says she makes herself look bad. Good job.
So before I looked at my comments, So in 2023, since... people in power, right?
And Chris.
This is a survival page, so I'm always going to be talking about this. all the time as long as I'm surviving. People in
Yeah, this is from tonight, about 45 minutes ago, roughly.
trying to get justice from us, even though it's quite obvious that whatever it is that she's accusing somebody of actually really did that to her, and the case is clear cut. It's like, we don't, this is the evidence, like they did this, right? Let's go ahead and let's leverage, and maybe she'll drop the charges if we get, a mugshot, right? She's progressing too much. We do not want the person that we targeted and oppressed and abused our power against while we were in a position of public authority. We don't want that person to survive.
Even though I've heard it a million times, and a lot of us have, it still fascinates me when she says things. She wants people to believe, like so many people are standing around her house with torches and chains and stuff, demanding that she get offline. When nobody cares. If she goes on 5 times a day or 5 times a week or 5 times a year, nobody cares. Nobody hates her that much that they want her to be quiet and not go online. I haven't heard that. I mean, I've heard people out of, who are pissed off or frustration, or they're arguing with her saying, shut the fuck up, get offline. But that's different. Nobody cares if she's offline or if she's online or whatever. Nobody's making her get offline. There's no crowd of people that want her to get offline. This is absolutely ridiculous.
And live to tell the tale. We don't want that to. We don't want everything that she said throughout her entire survival. We do not want everything that she claimed, everything that she said was going to happen, to actually happen. Right? So they were against me, and then people from the public. One of which is the one that you all mentioned here right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like a magnet, not just for hateful people. And here in the Rio Grande Valley where I live, I don't give a shit what anybody says, right? If you haven't gone through what I've gone through, I do not care. These people will judge you, and everywhere they'll judge you. But here
oh boy, here we go. The fish climbing a tree, right?
Here, because of our statistics, these people will judge you by your ability to climb a tree if you're a fish.
Told you.
They won't care that you're not a mammal. You're not you do not live on land. You were not born on land. You're water dwelling. Mm-hmm. And they will judge you and laugh at you and shame you and guilt you. All kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm.
I think she went to the Gavin Newsom School of Hand Gestures during a speech.
So I had all of that hate, and I was like, since they're trying so hard to change minds of the world, the worldview about me, right? I'm just going to be myself. And
I don't always pick on women. But there's not too many dudes out there online that are interesting, that go live, that haven't found anybody. This is a little more personal. If you haven't followed the last 6, 7, 8 years, then, sorry, you got some catching up to do.
And you all may have, a lot of y'all watching right now may have seen that video. It was in March of 2023. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what, y'all? I'm going to just start being myself. Because at this point, whether people are on my side or against me, they've already objectified me. Did you know that? People can hate you, and they can hate you to the point of, they don't see, they are so, they have such an evil essence that they do not see you as human.
Whatever. So to catch some of you up, she she had court back in March for her fraud case. She was reindicted, and then everything started to move real quick. And then her court date came, and she apparently had a plea deal. She made a deal. So she either pled guilty or no contest, which is really the same thing. And she was ordered to pay. So Ashley Trevino, the inmate hopper, same thing. She also pled guilty. Food stamp or, Medicaid fraud, similar cases. Ashley pled guilty and they published everything. Court documents, there it is for the public to see. Has to pay restitution, $700 a month, plus another few hundred for something else. 2 years probation, restrictions, and this and that, and all kind of stuff. So this one made a deal, and she's got to pay restitution, although they didn't say how much. And then that was in March. Her next court hearing is September 14th. So in other words, they gave her 6 months to pay restitution, whatever that amount is. But if it's 6 months, I'm hoping it's a substantial amount. In the meantime, she applied for probation. So whatever the amount is, if she doesn't have it, then something else will kick in and the deal is off the table. That's usually how it works. But unfortunately, we're not going to find anything out until September 14th, which is right around the corner. And that's where that stands right now. If she doesn't pay restitution, there's a possibility of long-term probation. There is a possibility of jail time. Though we'll just have to wait and see. It will be in Cameron County, 197th District Court. If anybody's interested in going, it's your constitutional right.
So it's okay to do anything to you. And they don't want anyone else to see you as human. Because if they are successful in eliminating that essence of humanity, or if they are successful at not just taking it away or eliminating it so that people don't see me as human, but if they're gonna see me as human and they can't make you stop seeing me as human, then they're gonna make you think I'm the worst kind of human ever. Everything. Not sober, fat, ugly, talks funny, says that she's a biologist when she's not, says that she's a college graduate, a university graduate, but she's not, says that she's a STEM university graduate, but she's not, says that she's a nurse, but she's not, and if she's a nurse, she is, not the nurse that they want me to. I'm not kidding.
I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm listening to this. I'm like, she has to be the most hated. Like she's gotta let everyone know how hated she is and what kind of victim she is. That's what that was all about. And it just, I was thinking about this earlier. I saw part of it live, but I couldn't watch the whole thing. And I just kept thinking how sad that this is your existence, where you have to repeat everything every single time you get on camera, and you repeat the same thing over and over and over and over. I mean, that's what it is. And it's very sad. It is sad. And and for the first time this time, I was like, do I even want to stream this crap? I mean, I'm working on other stuff. You guys seen some of the things I posted already. Working on other stuff. So this is becoming like nobody cares. I think her maximum, her viewers topped off tonight at 46, and it was averaging 30 something.
Right? But also when people really like you, that could be dangerous too. Because
Unfortunately, that's why some people get hired, like Mom Donnie, Gavin Newsom, handsome guy in front of the camera. Dude wants to be a Hollywood star. But don't vote for that reason. Don't vote for that reason.
they also don't see you as human. Like if they really, 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 really like you, they're really attracted to you, they're really magnetized towards you, they don't see you as human either. So, and that's dangerous.
You missed
So
the hair
what
mop?
things
The hair mop?
So
Really? Do you miss the hair mop? I think it was hilarious. I think it looked like such a prop. It literally looked like somebody went from behind and put a mop on her head. It made her head taller. Like it was
back
weird.
in 2023, when I said, you know what, I'm gonna be more like me, and people were like, what do you mean? Well, from when I started surviving until that day in 2023, I was just like, help me. This is what they're doing. This is my mayor telling me this. This is the city secretary trying to think that she could tell me something too, when all I'm doing is demonstrating democracy. This is my first arrest, second arrest, third arrest, fourth arrest, fifth arrest, sixth arrest, seventh arrest, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and I believe 13th.
13 arrests. She's a bullshit artist. She keeps targeting 3 people she says had a hand in her beating, something to which she admitted early on what the real story was, but she wants to say these 3 people paid money and organized to have her beaten. Bullshit story. Lost her kids, didn't fight for them. She could have fought for them. She had a chance. She chose not to. And she wants to get into politics? She wants to represent Texas in some way or fashion? Hell no. Sorry. So think what you want. I don't care. Thanks for tuning in.
And it was all about that. And he, every now and then, it was about things that I really cared about.
Yo, sure.
But when I realized that about what I just explained to you about the human element, I just said I'm going to be more myself, and I really don't care who it offends. I don't. Because I couldn't be funny. I couldn't show people how funny I was, because I couldn't do anything different than survive, because everything about me is so intense. I'm not kidding. Well, you all know. Some of y'all love me for it, and the rest of y'all hate me for it.
Depending on my schedule, I may possibly be there. It's not a top priority, but we'll see what happens leading up to that date.
I can't say I really like this, because that's going to overpower, and people would start to get confused and hate me for that. Wait a minute, what are you about? Are you about survival? Are you about this food that you're cooking? Are you about this food that you're tasting? Are you about this product that you're suggesting? This is they didn't understand this is my real life. This is not a show. This is not a script. I survive, and I see the people that are watching me and the people that are sharing their energy with me in a non-evil, good way, right? I see them as human. I see them as human. And also, when I made up my mind back in 2023, that's part of being like, no, I'm going to show you who I am. I like this kind of music. I like to do this. This happened to me one time, and this is funny, and this is, whatever.
Oh, I got an announcement I forgot to tell you about. John Allen is going to be on my program on Monday night. Monday is the anniversary of his, they call it the incident at the Walmart in, I think it was Weslaco, right? Was it Weslaco or Mercedes? I think it was Weslaco. Where he went in, there was a guy walking in with a AK-47. John saw that as he was parking his car, and he went in right after him. And he lowered the temperature on something that could have been very bad because the guy was intent on shooting up the store and taking out as many people as he could at the Walmart. John stepped up. He had his firearm, and he talked to the guy for like an hour. And then police were there, and they took over. And it's the anniversary of that. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. And so he's going to tell the story. We're going to hear the story again. For those of you who haven't heard it, dude's a hero. I mean, he's a retired military veteran, and this happened. And it's an amazing story. So tune in on Monday night. I will post it tomorrow.
Whatever. And this, why did I do that? To disrupt their pattern and practice, both the people in power.
Lola, I just leave it at that. See, you seem like an intelligent woman. I don't understand why some people, but that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion and to their people that they like for whatever their reason. Just be careful.
That's against the law, by the way, to demonstrate a pattern and practice of the shit they've done to me. And then people from the public, like hate pages and all that shit that I survived, right? That is so annoying, the public part, because these are just people, they just want clout. Like, there's a man that's probably streaming this video, and
Which hey Alexis, hers is a story of survival. So she would go live so many times, just real quick in a real brief nutshell. She would go live a lot of times. 2 boys, 2 girls, her kids. Something happened with the boys. They were bullied. She says she started to defend them. And because she defended them, the whole community and the world turned against her. And we still don't know what happened or what that was, or it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, fast forward a little more. She's been caught snorting, live during a live, the famous, oh, hang on, let me read the comment. So anyway, we've seen that a few times. There was a crack smoke. She was smoking what we thought was crack. It might have been meth. She was on a FaceTime call with someone. That person recorded the call, her lighting up and smoking. And then that went viral because somebody published it, and then it went out there, and that's all over the place. And lost custody of her kids after a standoff with police at this restaurant near her house. Then Christmas Eve 2020, this is when she was running for some Texas representative or some seat in Texas politics. She got a call in the morning, said, "We have to tell you something." It's, okay, what? No, you have to come to the motel room by yourself and talk to us so we can tell you. She went to the motel where she says they kidnapped her, forced her in for over 3 hours. They beat her. And then those photos are on her page of her face all swollen and bruised up and stuff. She did take a beating. That happened for sure. The reason for the beating is, something that was always in question. And the very first thing she said about that beating was that it was a beef she had with her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. There was friction there. So that girl arranged for the beating with the help of others. Later, it was a hate crime because she considers herself disabled. She claims she's autistic, but that's self-diagnosed. There's no official diagnoses that she has autism. She pretends every now and then she'll act a certain way, and she tries to make it look like she's got autism. But if you've ever known people with autism or seen people or have dealt with people with autism, they don't act like that. They don't behave like that. So then the beating turned into there's 3 people that she really, really hates. And she says those 3 people conspired and they paid money to have her beat up. So the story completely changed. And it just goes on and on and on. Man, and she would go live. She's got issues at home. She goes live from her car most of the time, like she is here. And her house was a depression house, probably still is. But someone who has helped her clean up leaked photos of the depression house, and it looked like, you've seen the houses on Hoarders. Well, it looked like that. But people helped her and they cleaned up, and, she was very abusive to her kids, although she'll deny it, but she would lock her little girls in the closet, put a lock on the door. They would put a bucket in there so if they had to use the bathroom, and then her and her boyfriend would go out and do whatever they had to do for a little while her girls are locked up in a bathroom. There's a lot. You can go back, you can do hashtag the VT Chronicles, and you'll see a lot of stuff. If you're interested, we can keep filling you in here and there. But thanks for being here.
And I read that in a book the other day.
Okay, so now she's talking about...
I survived, right?
I didn't want to cut her off. She's talking about me.
That is so annoying, the public part, because these are just people, they just want clout. Like, there's a man that's probably streaming this video, and I read that in a book the other day. There's people like that man who will give the impression to the world that he knows, like, insider information about me. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's creepy. No. You put paper plates on your chest to make fun of my breasts.
Okay. She keeps saying that. She said that a few times, that I take paper plates and I put them in my shirt to pretend that they're her breasts. No, I've never done that. I would never do that. But a co-host I used to have, Bam, some of you know Bam. Well, he created this persona called Bamessa. Well, he would mimic her and he would make fun of her. It was satire. He used to be a real drag queen. So he would put on a wig, put on the lipstick, and do the boobs with plates or whatever he did. I forgot what he used. And that's what she's referring to. But of course, she's got to say that it's me because she doesn't like that I do what I do, like what I'm doing right now. So that's whenever you hear paper plates, that's what she's talking about. Bamessa.
Mm-hmm. You invited at one point you invited a catty, um, uh, a very catty male friend of yours
That's
to
Bam.
put me down because I guess it was okay because he was of the LGBTQ persuasion. And so it's funny to see somebody from, who's going to get, if I can't get a woman to do this to her the way the other hater got a woman to do this to her, because he was getting a lot of grief from the public, like, you're a man doing this to a woman, right? He got a person from the LGBTQ community who was just as hateful as him, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, who's going to go after that woman that I got to go after her? Well, who's going to go after my friend from the LGBTQ community to go after her? Because, we're just trying to normalize. We're trying to make it normal to hate this woman.
I don't hate her. I've never hated her. Bam doesn't hate her either. My task is to bring awareness because she's so full of crap and she wants to be in politics. And, I don't want that to happen. Can you imagine, you guys who know her, can you imagine her in any kind of seat of power? She ran for sheriff. She ran for mayor. She ran for a congressional seat. Never won. And the people that voted for her voted because she's bounced around Democrat, Republican, Green Party. She'll try everything. And all the votes she got are because people vote, they used to vote straight party. Like, they don't care, Me, when I vote, if there's a Democrat that I like, I will vote Democrat. For the most part, I vote red. But you can check off a checkbox that said straight party, and that'll get you to vote all Republican, so you don't have to sit there and that's why she got some of the votes in a certain county that she did. What did she say it was? 60,000 or something like that? But she never won anything. And, she never had money for signs. She had a flyer that she would go. She always had the flyer. And the more and more she showed the flyer, the more and more wrinkled it was. I'm starting to think she only had one flyer. But she never had signs. She never had financial backing to run. She had never had a sponsor or nothing like that and then the Republican Party of Texas came out in a press conference. We do not support this woman. We don't back her, and we want nothing to do with her. Basically, is what they said.
We're trying to make it normal to hate this woman.
Yeah, so I'm not a hater. I don't hate her. I'm not trying to get people to hate her. I think she does that on her own very well. And just the way her attitude is, people dislike her because of how she talks to people. And those of you who've seen a lot of her videos know what I'm talking about.
One was using the woman that I'm surviving till this day, and the other one was using that person. And now that man that streams my videos, he has owned that he's a hateful piece of shit. He's owned it. Mm-hmm. Well, he's trying to normalize hate. I mean, there's, there. That is awful. That's yeah. And so
that's hilarious. Trying to normalize hate. This, she claims the country hates her. She claims she's the most prosecuted woman in America. Of course, nobody in America knows who she is. Only some of the viewers that she has.
Yeah. That's when people, I would get, when I started doing that, I would get a lot of, and I always point it out, the history of our nation. It's one thing to have a Hispanic person like myself come over here, right, and try to, degrade me and
Yeah, I'm not monetizing. I haven't. I've said that a few times. I mean, you guys are smart. If that's the case about these people that paid to have her beat up, why didn't any of the people that got paid ever mention Ophelia, Frank, or John Allen? Their names never came up because it didn't happen. She's just trying to, you know, she counts on her meathead minions. She's got a very small, hardcore number of people that really kiss her ass. I mean, they love that starfish and they don't care what anybody else says and they don't care to do research. They just drink her Kool-Aid faithfully without thinking. Like, if they had her paid, why didn't the people who are in jail make a deal to say, hey, I'll tell you who paid me, but I don't want to go to jail? Because it didn't happen. Nobody paid them. Those three people, and every once in a while she would throw me in there too, but these three people got nothing to do with what happened to her. But for the rest of her life, she will try to make that connection. And her way of dealing with that is, I'll always believe that these three people paid for my beating.
me and belittle me and stuff like that. But it's different when it's a non-black or brown person. And I've explained why. And thank you to all of you that are not brown or black and have never done that to me.
Oh yeah, not to mention she's a racist. As she don't like white people. She doesn't like white women. She really doesn't. And that's no secret. We've seen the evidence of that. Yes, she is a nurse. She's licensed. She's an LVN, aka LPN. But what capacity is she doing that now? We don't know. Because for a while there, she was there are complaints on her license. But the Texas Board of Nursing is moving very, very slow. Ever since COVID, they got backed up and they haven't recovered yet. So these dozen or so complaints on her thing keep coming up every year. But as of right now, she's still active.
It was around that time when I started showing my authentic self, not holding back, right? Not being all, take me seriously and this and that, please, because I really am surviving something. When these people from the public came into the picture and were like, one man was, because I'm neurodivergent, right? He made it, I'm not kidding. There's influencers that will talk so much shit and be like, the Rio Grande Valley doesn't have an abundance of hate as compared to the rest of the world. They will say that shit, never having gone through not even a little bit of what I've gone through, right? I swear to you.
Yeah, and the other thing she talks about is nobody has ever endured the pain that she has. Nobody has suffered as much as her. And I'm very sorry to say this. I really am. But someone with cancer made a comment on her live and said, I've been through chemo, but I've never suffered as much as you have. They put this comment in her live. And of course, how do you think that made her feel? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She started crying. Oh, thank you, thank you. It's like, why are you thanking her for? And I want to tell this lady, you got freaking cancer. You are literally surviving for your life. What you're going through is real, not what this one said. That was an awful moment. That was embarrassing.
And they will be referring to an area of the nation where a man, right, who recruited the woman that was mentioned here by you guys, that was referred to, right? It, he normalized a disability slur, the R word.
Okay, he's talking about Frank Marr. Frank was the first guy who would stream her on his page. No More Cheeseman. CHEEZMEH. No More Cheeseman. All one word. And he's the one who started streaming her. And he would, every time she went live, he would pop it up there. Mine is different. I do mine with commentary, like a reaction video. But he would just pop the video. And anytime she went live, man, he was there and he would pop the video up. And she really hated him. I mean, they had a back and forth. There was a lot of drama there. And that's who she's talking about right now.
That you do not say about people who have different minds or are developmentally challenged in some way.
Exactly.
You don't say that word. The word that means slow, right?
Exactly, Alexis. That is exactly right. So the word she's talking about is a Spanish word. It's chisquiada. And then the short version is chisquis. Now, it's debatable what that means, depending on where you are in Mexico or in South America, even that word can mean different things. I take it as a chisquiada is like that I don't even know what to call it. Like you call a little kid who's always running around causing commotion. That's a chisquiada. She wants to claim that it means retard or retarded. So that's what she's talking about now, about this term that man, Frank, normalized. So, of course, she wants to make everyone think that it's a, like calling somebody a retard was for a while. The word was thrown around for a long time. And then a few years ago, it became, don't say the R word. And then, people got offended, and no offense to people that are mentally retarded. But it's what kids used to say, and it just, it got offensive. But then now it's kind of making a comeback. And she takes a lot of offense to that. Oops.
You're talking about a nerve that he normalized a disability slur, the R word, that you do not say about people who have different minds or are developmentally challenged in some way. We don't say that word. The word that means slow, right? So those influencers that are like, we don't have a lot of hate in this and that. Well, you're talking about a nerve of the nation where a man, thought it was just fine to normalize the R word in Spanish. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you didn't go through that. That's right. That's right.
There you go. Traviesa, troublemaker, little... there's something you call a kid, like a little kid. But to me, in my experience with it, it does not mean, like you're saying, you're mentally retarded. That's not what that means. But, she has to make it sound like that for her viewers.
Right. But maybe years have gone by, and maybe perhaps some of those people have had babies, right? And maybe their child is, neurodivergent, right? And they would be shocked. Or some of those hateful people, on those pages happen to have a grandchild, maybe, right? Or a niece or somebody that is suddenly different from everybody else in the family, right? And they forget that they were part of that hateful group that normalized calling such different kinds of minds that in Spanish. Mm-hmm. So, y'all don't worry. I know some of y'all have inboxed me, right? Because you see what's happening now, right? Is very much similar to what happened back then, right?
Let me see if this works. Hang on. No, it's not going to work. I want to show you a little video clip, but something is very wrong with my system here. Oh, well.
Mm-hmm. This is my survival page, and so I hope you all just observe. Just be my witnesses. That nobody else has to understand. Ha ha ha, a thousand people or however many thousands of people that have seen her and are following her and everything, they cannot all make affidavits, right? And testify in a court of law that, we've seen all of this, we've seen all of this, and if we can see it, then why can't the police and law enforcement see it, right? That's never going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Because I don't think it's a crime to call somebody a retard. And depending on its use, I mean, you got two dudes arguing in the street and they're about to, get into it with their fists. One guy calls another guy, "You fucking retard." It's different. It's just, I don't know. I don't see that. And I know some people do, no offense, honestly. I don't see that term. It doesn't bother me. Then again, but I got thick skin. I'm going through some of this with streaming, not streaming, but covering Jessica is Spoiled. And some of the comments in there, it's like, these comments don't bother me. It's like, yeah, whatever. But that's just me. I can see if it offends some people. I apologize. Maybe you have someone in the family, but that word chisqueada or chisquis doesn't really mean what she's saying, but she's got to make it seem like it is.
Nobody else has to understand but me. Why I know why it's important for you all to please just watch, just observe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nobody does. Can you imagine if everybody who had a different kind of mind, who saved themselves, saved somebody else, changed the world in some way, right? Can you imagine if all the people that accomplished any of those three things since the beginning of time, can you imagine if any one of them cared what another human being opined of them, thought of them? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if anybody that did anything good in this world that was transformative, can you imagine if they would have been like, well, what if these people don't understand? They don't. That's why you're the one that's doing it. They don't need to understand, and you don't need to care why they don't understand. The ones that do understand, understand. The rest don't matter.
And now I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Where's she going with this?
I mean, thank you. I see you, Corpus Christi, Texas. So, do I call every night my local law enforcement? Yeah, well, I still live here. Yeah.
So, for those that don't know, and I apologize for stopping this so much, but I know I see a lot of newer people in here. She calls the Raymondville PD on a nightly basis. And I don't know if she actually still does. She says she does. And sometimes she'll call while she's live. She'll call and put the call on speaker. But she calls to get extra patrols around her house overnight because she feels like somebody's going to break in and beat her up or do something to her. Like the paranoia is strong with this one.
You know, during my survival, there's people that say, well, why don't you move? Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that?
You?
Who's going to pay to maintain that? Would it be wise for a neurodivergent who has to work, and has to survive, you know, all this stuff, right? Would it be wise for her, with 13 arrests, right, to move from this area and risk a failure to appear? They would love that. They would absolutely love that. Mm-hmm.
So the reason she can't move away is because she's got so many court cases, and what if she doesn't make it to one of them? That's her reason that she can't move? Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been arrested. I think it is, this last one was 13 times. And she's very proud of it. She's very proud of it.
But then again, also, why the fuck should I move? This is my town just as much as it's all the hateful fucking people's town. This is my town just as.
And nobody's really telling her to move. There's no petition or there's no group or anybody telling her to move. Somebody might have mentioned it in passing. She's too afraid. She will never leave the area. This is her safe space, if you want to call it
As
that.
much as it's, you know, whatever mayor at any given time it is, you know, whatever judge, whatever district court judge, whatever district attorney, please. Why the fuck should I move? Why should any human adapt to a lack of civilization, to a lack of civility, when democracy is a thing and you can utilize democracy to change what needs to change, which is the environment, not the human.
How do we get from you call police to get patrols every night? Why don't you move? Now we're talking about the environment.
Human being. Yep. Hi, Lauren. How are you? Nice to see you. Hello, Miss Martinez. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So, with that being said, yeah, I still call my local police because I don't think that the local police are made up of the same kind of humans, or at least not to the same degree as it used to be. Yeah, as it used to be. I love you, ma'am. I love you. Thank you, Miss Allie Powell. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Man. She says, I know you don't need me to tell you, but I want to anyway. You're beautiful, intelligent, and you're absolutely helping to change the world. And I'm so happy to see your face and hear your voice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's where these people who watch her on her page, they say these things, and they don't know the whole story, and she doesn't want them to know the whole story. That's why she doesn't like this page. And to be honest, she's got a beef with that neighbor of hers, and that's really it. And then I do what I do, and that's it. There's these so-called hate pages everywhere, and there were some that, yeah, I think they're on, I don't know, 18 or 19 version 18 or 19, because they keep getting canceled and deleted. But there is no army of haters that, she wants to make it sound like there's an army of haters and an army of gang stalkers, and it's just dumb.
Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm not afraid of, I know God has my back, and I know that I'm highly protected. I am. You all have seen it. It's undeniable. But there's always cowards. There's always cowards who will literally finesse. That has a possibility of finessing a group of 5 to 6 young adults, incentivizing them or persuading them, finessing them in a way that they are now sitting in jail, on probation, having a criminal record, being charged with whatever, and they don't even know that they were finessed. There's always going to be those kind of cowards.
Okay, so she's been making the claim that these people that beat her up were paid by, a group of 3 or 4 people. And so the people that beat her up went to jail. Some of them, one got out, another one's getting out soon, but those people who are jailed are not in jail for her beating. They're in jail. They were in court on other charges. They had a court date come up, and then so they threw in this assault or whatever they called it, threw it in, but there was no specific time assigned just for that beating. That didn't happen. So they're in jail for other offenses because they've got previous offenses. They've got rap sheets, and that's why they were in jail. That's why they are in jail. But it's got nothing to do with her beating. That's the hard truth.
Always. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if like some crazy person, some crazy lady, or some crazy man just came up to me, and all things being equal, please.
What?
Nobody should assume anything about anybody. Nobody should assume anything about anybody. Nobody should assume she's so nice. She is so nice that she will now whoop somebody's ass, all things being equal, until flashing lights show up and stun the fuck out of everybody watching. Nobody should assume that.
Taylor, what up?
Foolish. That'd be quite foolish. That'd be quite foolish. Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Mm-hmm. So, I know y'all are worried. Don't be. Don't be worried. If you're a praying person, pray for me. If you're
No, nobody's worried, I promise.
If you're spiritual, do your thing. And you can send me good energy. Right? Yeah. It's weird because, like, people will make me aware. Like, I wasn't aware that human being had, resurfaced, right? And, it's these coincidences, right? Like, when I made that post about, that I made the other night for that lunar event that's going to occur at the end of this month. And I said what time it was in Central Time. And a human being that I have survived and I am surviving and I will forever survive, that is hateful, suddenly uses the word Central Time.
So did I miss something? Why is that significant?
Never before. They will not even produce a video showing that. And the thing is that, when all this started to happen to me, it all started because my 11-year-old, well, it started because my best friend back then, some person just like the one this other one, they all grouped together. I'm being serious. All of them at one point, years later, they all got together. All these people that I helped somebody else survive, or that I survived, and I think all of them really had a part in my face getting beaten. I'm not kidding. There was a live stream. I bet you all you motherfuckers were on there, weren't you? Because I know you still watch me until right now. Yeah. Some of y'all probably all pitched in, I'm sure. Anyways, time will tell, right? I have faith.
No, I won't tell. Because the case is dead and buried. There was no reason to believe that so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so had something to do with that beating. Especially when you came out and said it was your ex's new girlfriend. You said that. That when she got arrested at Star's restaurant and the kids were given to a family friend, well, they had probable cause to search her car. So they searched her car. Officer found a meth pipe. Took the pipe to another police vehicle. I assume showed it to a supervisor or something. For whatever the reason, they told him to put it back in the car. And there's video of this. But she edited the video to only show the officer walking back to the car with the pipe and placing it in the car. Oh, they planted evidence. Look, the video's there. They planted evidence. That was not my pipe. She spent that night in jail. The next morning, she's in the car. Somebody gave her a ride home. She's sitting there in the middle, goes live. And she said, the pipe was in my house. I didn't want it in my house. I took it out and I decided to, put it in the car. It's like, why is there a meth pipe in your house in the first place? That's one thing. I mean, we know why. We know why. But if you really didn't want it, why didn't you just take it outside on the concrete, step on it, smash it, end of story? Why would you put it in your car? Well, she admitted to that. But now she's saying the latest narrative is that police officer planted the crack pipe in her car Yeah.
So it all started, with really my best friend, right, back then. But then the big thing was my son. When he was getting bullied and he called out the superintendent back then, the bully's parents and this and that, and we're on better terms. Some people that I survived and some people I really don't give a fuck if we never are in good terms. I don't care. Honestly, it would be unwise for me to ever, it's very rare that ever happens, right? Very rare. It is rare the human being that can demonstrate the appropriate level of change, show you that change, because the biggest apology is change behavior. And if
Yeah, she says she showed the video to a judge, but I don't know those details as to. I mean, obviously nothing happened because something like that would have been on the news for sure. Never has been. I mean, it's just a story.
and if you're not changing your behavior, no. If you were one of those fucking bullies that put hands on me or went to the local newspapers, I'm not kidding, right? And so when my son went viral for that, there was people, again, we're here in the Rio Grande Valley saying, well, he should learn how to stand up for himself and this and that. He was assaulted 13 times in 30 days by about 5 different human children.
Has anybody ever heard that before? I haven't heard that before. 13 times in 30 days. I don't think I've ever heard that before. So every 2 or 3 days.
13 times in 30 days. 13. And this is what people don't understand, and this is why I'm not out there, I don't choose violence. And back then,
That's because you would get your ass beat. That's why.
when all that was happening, me and his father were like, please, just, no violence, no violence. No violence. And the last straw was a hematoma right before that Halloween on the back of his head. And I've already explained that story before. And the child's parent knew enough that when that day that happened, the very next day, she pulled her child. Not even that woman came after me the way that the other parents of those children.
Good point, Alexis. So if your kid is getting beat up or assaulted every 2 days over a month, on average, it's 2.3. So let's just say every 2 days. At what point should you quit sending him to school? Instead of sending him, and this keeps happening. Okay, first or second time, I'll give you that. Third time, it's like, okay, we got to do something here. If it happens again, a fourth time, and then 2 days later, the same thing, like, yeah, you know what? You're staying home. You see how this doesn't compute? I'm not the only one. I know you guys are thinking, who would keep sending their kid to get beat up and not pull him out of school or do something? Why wasn't this on the news? News story, bully, kid gets beat up 13 times in 30 days, and yet she keeps sending him. You see how it doesn't make sense?
Those children came after me. Not even her. No. And she knew. She knew what had happened to my son, because obviously she pulled her son out of school the very next day. She was actually an educator herself. She knew. You've never seen me argue with that human being. You've never seen me survive her. No. She wasn't like the other ones, who were so offended. Then my son took a stand, and okay, he went viral, and what about it? So we're not supposed to, because you're going to have some kind of, whatever kind of negative feelings about it?
Going viral for what exactly? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, you're going to stop us, right? Stop us, right? Because of how it makes you feel? And we're supposed to care. And when that doesn't work, then you're going to shame us in whatever way. Well, the thing was, because people were like, well, he's a boy and he needs to stand up for himself and this and that. Well, first of all, kids should not have to survive in school, but that's another topic. It wasn't so much that my son was in danger. It was two things. How the fuck is my son, who they refused, by the way, to give, special accommodations to, and eventually I won that in a huge way and proved a lot of things that were important. How is he going to have a good educational experience when his learning environment is being affected to the tune of 13 Class A assaults, which is pain and visible injury in Texas? How the fuck are you going to learn? How would an adult, in the span of 30 days working in a job, how would that adult function to the necessary degree that their employer feels that they should be functioning at, while they were undergoing the same thing that would be equal to what my son was undergoing? Adults are more protected in workplaces than children are in school.
But if you're the parent and your kid's getting the crap beat out of them every 2 days, at what point do you step in and protect your child by keeping him home? It's not virtuous to send him and let him get beat up. But are you trying to make him a martyr for something? Some weird, twisted ideology or something? Like, yeah, I let us get beat 13 times.
They are. Our society would never allow adults to endure what our children endure in school. And I find that the strangest and most bizarre thing. And so I was among the mentality down here that, well, I went through it. I went through it. I went through it too. You just got to toughen up in this. It wasn't all that. It wasn't that. And I find that very parallel kind of feelings that I have right now. It's not that I'm afraid of some, hater, all things being equal, coming up to me and, doing something to me, because it's like, all things being equal, I know what will happen. Right?
And what's that? What would happen? That's what I'd like to know. Because she had a face-to-face with someone that opposed her. They were coming in and out of a dollar store, face-to-face. And the word is, I can't confirm it, but everyone said this, including the woman herself said she turned around and took off, ran to her car. Oh, is that what would happen?
It's not that. It wasn't because my son couldn't defend himself. it was because his learning environment was being affected, but two,
Yeah, exactly right. I'm not going to let him get beat up once or twice. I mean, with me, it's different. I'm going to teach him how to fight. It would be a different situation. I'm not going to let his ass get beat up 13 times. That'll never happen. Never.
his father and I knew what those kids were going to look like if my son chose violence. We knew our kid. We knew our kid. Yes, he was smaller than the other children. He was also taking medications for his ADHD, which stunts their growth, but now he's this big tall man. Regardless of that, those bullies thought that he was vulnerable.
Hey, Cindy.
And yeah, he was vulnerable because his parents were like, no violence, no violence, no violence, no violence, no violence, no violence. Because we know what's going to happen.
And what's going to happen?
As it is, when a child defends themselves, a child who has never been in trouble, a child who has never demonstrated a pattern in practice of bad deportment or putting their hands on other children, defends themselves finally against a known bully who has a whole school record since the jump, kindergarten, right, of doing all kinds of dirty ass shit, right, to other children, different targets. We all know what happens when that child defends themselves. The school takes care of it as you're both going to get in trouble.
If some guy's trying to beat up my kid, I would never say, let yourself get beat up. Don't fight back. She keeps saying, what would happen? Well, you know what would happen. It's like, yeah, you know what would happen? That other kid's face would look like ground beef. That's what would happen. I don't get that. 13 times and you're still telling him, don't fight back, no violence? Get the flock out of here, man.
That's how much local law enforcement takes care of things, by the way. Yep. You cannot be a victim unless you're a connected victim. If you're a connected victim, well, you're going to get all the justice that you want. I'm not kidding. Yeah. So, you all don't be worried. What can I do? Even if somebody were to be a coward with me, don't. But all things being equal, I don't care if I go to jail. I'm gonna protect myself. I need to stay alive to fulfill my destiny. I mean,
Destiny? Okay.
my goodness, it's survival. It's survival. I mean, I don't know. It's the same thing with my son. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you're already getting 3 days suspension for finally sticking up to a kid who has done this to I don't know how many people, and you've never done this shit to anybody.
He's an adult now. They are adults. But she's saying, don't beat up the other kid because then you're going to get suspended. See, that's a battle. That's a fight that I'll take to the school. You know what? My kid was defending himself after the school, failed to defend him 3 or 4 times. The 5th time, he chose to fight back. That's why the kid's face looks like hamburger meat right now. And you know what? And if he gets suspended, then he gets suspended. But I'll tell you what, at least the other kid is going to know what'll happen next time, that he's not going to let himself get beat up. So it changes the game. These are life strategies that obviously you know nothing about. So, wow.
Can you imagine if we were to allow him to do to all these children what we know he was fully capable of doing to them physically? My goodness, no. 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 My word. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I consider that child abuse. That does. Oh my God. I raised this kid and I told him, somebody hits you, you hit back. Period. But don't do it first. And that's the rule. Don't don't jump on somebody. If somebody goes to hit you, well, then you defend yourself. Oh man, that pisses me off. This is the first time I hear this story.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ali Powell says, my son's school has done that, told him not to fight back and block their faces. Don't get me started with that. That's a whole other video. That's a whole other video. Oh my goodness. That's a whole other video. Yeah. Yeah, I went through that. That was my first wave of people that were like you, Ali, that were like, either they themselves, they were like, I went through that shit when I was in school, right? And now I'm an adult, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, right? Or my grandchild was going through that, or my child is going through that. It was just something that people resonated with, something that it was very relatable. It was, and sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's just like being touched inappropriately. 1 in 3 girls, 1 in 4 boys. It's so relatable. And it's sad. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. People should not relate to an imbalance of power that traumatizes you. For any population in the world of human beings to relate to traumatic, shared, parallel experiences, because the people running their societies do not do what they were put in those positions of power to do, that's sad. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who does not agree with me. No.
I don't know what the hell she just said. I was trying to work that out, but good thing she's not a parent. Good thing she's not a parent.
No. No. Mm-mm. No. Thank you. And Terry, this is a workout shirt, by the way. This is not. I remember when I was wearing this. I don't know if it was I live in an area of the nation where literally they will look at me like, ¿Y esta? ¿Quién se cree? Who the fuck does she think she is, wearing a shirt that has a metallic tinge? What the fuck is she wearing?
Said no one ever. Said nobody ever.
I'm not kidding. I wore this shirt, I think, when was it? Back in April?
Hey, Dana.
May or something? And it wasn't until I posted, a day later, I posted the workout videos where there were, nobody said anything. Oh, I was the one talking shit and being like, what the fuck are you wearing, right? And it's like, what does what I'm wearing, what does that have to do with your life? Or what? Bye. Right? So I'd have to point it out because I guess people thought that's fancy or something. Like, no, it's just a silver shirt. That's what it is.
This is one of those moments where she says, "Oh, people are talking about my silver shirt. Somebody commented about my silver shirt." Like nobody commented about your anything. Remember, said, "Oh, you want to see my dress? Oh, okay, hold on." Remember that? She does that a million times. Nobody ever was. Some kind of workout shirt, whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Alexis, you have a great night. The kids have softball in the morning, so I'll catch up with you. Cool. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Don't forget, like the page, like the video, follow me, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thanks for being here, Alexis. Have a great night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, the fact that I even have to point that out and explain that, it's like, whatever. But it's like, that's where I live. That's where I live.
That's bullcrap. Down here, I'm going to say, if some kid's getting beat up 3 or 4 or 5 times, I guarantee one of those times he's going to fight back, even if the parent says, "Don't fight." It's like, why is he going to let himself get beat up? People here fight back. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. This no violence crap. That only applies until you start to get beat up. Then you friggin' defend yourself.
Anyway, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Perkins. Hello, Eileen. Thank you. Hi, Miss Danita Flores Zamora. Thank you. I'm okay. I'm just here surviving, and I want people to know, don't worry. And also,
just here surviving.
Man, today the Cowboys played, and I worked. Obviously, I worked every day, and I heard the Cowboys game on broadcast. Somebody was broadcasting it from either that or it was a television, because I had left a couple of houses that had the TV outside with the whole family show.
Dang, Robert Mendoza, tell us how you really feel. I'm not going to show that comment, but
I don't know.
dang.
I just maybe it was like that all over Texas. But I like that.
Joe,
that's why. Somebody said it feels like a Friday. I don't know why. That's why it probably felt like a Friday, was because the Cowboys played. And anytime the Cowboys play like that, it's gonna feel like a Friday. In my opinion, maybe that's why it felt like a Friday.
So if I'm watching an NFL game, I'm gonna feel like it's a Sunday, not a Friday. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, some people were asking me about my weights. If you all see, I semi-locked in, right? In my fitness journey, right? Towards the end of last year, in about October, and in the beginning, I wore I believe they were 3-pound ankle weights, or 2.5 or 2. I don't even know what they were. Right? These are 10 pounds each. And some of y'all were asking me, and these are 10 pounds each, and you can take some of the weights out. I mean, you can take all of the weights out if you want, just like 1 pound on each leg, on each ankle, and then you can like increase them in increments, as you get stronger. But these are 10 pounds each weight, each on each side, right? But they're adjustable, and let me show you. I'm going to put this in here, because if I do not put this back, I will lose it. And I'll tell myself, it's okay, I'm on a live video, I'm just going to put it right here. I will never find it again. I won't. I won't. And then it's black.
That's because that house or the car is such a friggin' mess. There's probably a pile 2 feet deep of garbage and junk. That's why she'll lose it. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm not even kidding.
black, so it just looks like the background of everything. I'm being serious. That, you know, that doesn't show a really good pattern of things. So let me put this right back in here.
I love it, Marcy. Yeah, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm from Chicago. I'm a Bears fan. Never liked the Cowboys. I tease Cowboy fans a lot. So yeah, that's funny.
Okay. There. And this is my ankle weights. These are really heavy. And that's the name. For the people who wanted to know. You could just take a screenshot and then just flip it around. And it has a nice big Velcro.
I know. Okay, you're a Cowboy fan, and you're bragging this. Okay, you know, to
Right.
each their own.
Huge. I mean, you got to. If you didn't have this, then I walk on the treadmill with these. And I do my ab work on the floor with these. Well, I do everything with these. And can you imagine if you did not have this big Velcro? You know, they just go flying off while you're on the treadmill. No. And you have to make sure, if you're going to wear these on the treadmill, make sure they are snug. I don't know about y'all, maybe it's my neurodivergency, I don't know what it is, but like, if my shoes are not equally tight, I know I'm weird like that. If like one shoelace is looser than the other one, oh no. That, we cannot do that. No, that needs to be fixed. Either one's gonna...
I will bet you that's not a strange occurrence. You go ask 100 people. If one shoe feels a little looser than the other shoe, are you gonna, tighten it up and stop and what you're doing tighten? So, am I being petty? Yeah, probably, but this is ridiculous.
It's gonna get loosened to make it like the other. I don't care which way it is. They just have to be even feeling. And the same thing with these. If one is moving all about a little bit, or just, a little bit, not snug, oh no. First of all, it's not safe. It's not safe because your weight is not, no weight on you should, while you're moving like that on a treadmill, should be unstable like that. Especially when it's not equal on both sides. The instability. Right? So don't do that. I'm just giving you a suggestion. Don't allow that to happen, because you can get really fatigued at the end of your cardio with these on. I'm not kidding. In the beginning, you're going to be like, oh, I can control these. Not when you're all, not if you work out to fatigue. These will control you. So you need to be careful with that. Please. Yeah. Just look for them. Hi, Stella. Zapata Ranch. Thank you, Miss Dobbins. Thank you, Denise Lito. Thank you. Just Amazon. What else? That human being, right? That I'm surviving. I made 2 messages on here, y'all. This morning, and I said cleared up any misinformation. Another weird thing is how they repeat everything that you say, and they truly make it seem like if they authentically thought. I've been saying, in regards to me surviving that, I've been saying, I don't care if I'm arrested for a long time. I really don't. I do not care if I'm arrested. It's going to be a jury trial every single time.
She said, okay, 2 things. One, she don't care if she's arrested again. She's not afraid of getting arrested again. So, in a survey, I could look up that survey at some point, but I read this a couple years ago. Once people have been arrested once or even twice, being arrested again is not a fear anymore. They've been through the process. They know what it's like. Now they're not afraid of getting arrested. Okay, what was the other thing she was talking about?
If it's me defending myself and they truly make it seem like if they authentically thought, I've been saying, in regards to me surviving that, I've been saying,
jury trial. She's been saying forever that she will never make a deal. She will never make a deal. She will never make a deal. She wants a trial by jury, and they will find her not guilty. Well, guess what she did on her food stamp fraud case? She made a deal. Yep. She pled guilty. Yep. And made a deal. Something she said she would never, ever, ever, ever do. Just the way she's doing it, saying it right now. That's the way she's always said it.
I don't care if I'm arrested for a long time. I really don't. I do not care if I'm arrested. It's going to be a jury trial every single time. If it's me defending myself, and I mean, my local law enforcement continues to be like, well, we're going to arrest you both. Okay. I know how that's going to go. I know. That's exactly like my first case. Exactly. The judge admonished law enforcement when he rendered that verdict.
Yeah, there's no record of that. You know, this is a woman who claims she was about to go to law school. She was about to go to law school, but they gave me my first arrest. And did she ever go back to law school? No. It's like, why didn't she go back to law school? Why didn't she continue? Because it's all bull crap. That's one, remember Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park? When they go in and there's a big pile of crap, he says that's one big pile of shit. That's what this is. That's what it is.
So I'm not afraid of getting arrested. I'm not. Don't let the ramblings of that riffraff, scare y'all for me.
Most of these people don't even know what's going on. This riffraff, her and her neighbor that are exchanging, whatever they're doing back and forth on Facebook. Nobody even knows. So this one can make up stories and say whatever she wants.
When you think of me surviving everything. When you think of me not being in danger.
Peace out.
Think of me having a good outcome, please.
Have a good night.
Please. Also, people that I have to survive. That's the one part of. I am surviving something very serious. It's public corruption. It's simply because I live in a small county, and simply because it's not Houston. That's a district attorney doing that to me. So that's a detective doing that to me. That's a police officer doing that.
Nobody's doing anything to her. All of her cases, except for a couple, are pretty much all done. There's nothing. Nobody's going after her. This is all bull crap. Jeez.
Doing that to me. It doesn't matter if it's a small county. It doesn't matter if it's a small town. No, that they are. It is the exact same oath. Doesn't matter. It shouldn't be normalized simply because it's a small county, a small town. I know a lot of y'all are like proud of me for, you know, still standing up for myself. But I know that there's people like right now in my hometown, they cannot stand the fact that I do not shut the fuck up about this.
The only thing people can't stand that they want her to shut the F up about, it's like a broken record, the same thing over and over again. That's all. She can say whatever she wants. She can talk about whatever she wants. But yeah, some people say, "Oh, I don't want to see this. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to hear this same story." Like I say a lot, I can pick a video from last year, and it's the same. It's the same. It's going to be the same.
So I was surviving something that's serious, and then these people from the public came to, like, the man that, you know, streams my videos, or some other hateful lady that just came out of the woodwork. You know, people come at me and they're like trying to be very cruel, and I survive them, and they're like, "Ooh, I hate you. I'm going to make my own hate page about you." I'm not kidding. It's the truth. It's the truth. That's the thing about my survival story, is that they're all Carol Baskins. Tiger Kings. They're all Tiger Kings, I swear to you. That's why I will always say no dignified human's ever going to do any of that shit to me. It's always those from the public. It will always be that shit. Always. You know, and that's the part of my story that it's still a true story. I mean, nobody's gonna ever make me believe that a bunch of those kind of folks did not all get together and finesse young adults to torture and beat my face for 3 hours. So even though it was a bunch of Tiger Kings and Carol Baskins, it's still part of my survival, and it's embarrassing. But hopefully when I tell my story, I can deliver my message of survival in such a way that people look past that. Oh, she's just surviving it. But no. It's much more serious than that. I promise you. These people were trying to normalize hate. I'm not kidding. It's much more serious than that. It's much more. Let me tell you how serious it is. It's not just, it's just some online, but no. Nope. No. Hey, Oregon, I see you. Thank you, Miss Sherry Simpson Turner. Thank you so much. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. Love right back at you. Thank you. And so, yeah, that is my story. Also, you know, that person has always tried to act really like tough and stuff like that, right? But it's like, why do they think that I you know, we all know that the implication is they believe that that person has always thought that nobody supports me. That people that follow me, that every account that has ever gone towards her to talk shit to her is me. I don't need to do that. I'll say what I have to say here. I mean, there's video proof that if you come up to me and you're this far away from me, I will say what I have to say right here too. But it's weird because, you know, that's a person that will never be rehabilitated from their hate. Because I will always believe that violence cannot be rehabilitated. No.
So she's talking about that hater hater, that other YouTube person, which is her neighbor. And she keeps saying she's got a history of violence, but I mean, I don't think so. I mean, unless you count one fight and you want to say she's got a history of violence, I wouldn't call that a history of violence. Something happened a few years ago with this woman. It was Halloween. Someone came to her house, attacked her. She fought back. That became a thing. That went to court. That's a whole other thing. But that doesn't mean she's got a history of violence. And I'll tell you, this one's going to stay all kind of crap. All kind of crap.
Violence can never be rehabilitated. I mean, thank God that our judicial system even recognizes the difference between like a non-violence drug offense or a drug offense that involved violence and didn't involve violence, because it matters. The element of violence matters, and that person is a violent human being, and they're proud of it. They're proud of it.
Hello, Missy.
No, there is nothing that me and that person are on in any kind of... No, we are not equal. No. No. In no way at all. No way. Our lanes are not... No, it's different universes. No. Nothing is close to any... No. I am like an alien species.
Well, she finally said something right.
Separate from that. No. No.
Missy, that's what you call a long story. I would suggest you hashtag the VT Chronicles on Facebook and YouTube, at least just to get started. Or if you want, you can do a replay, because I did kind of give a quick recap for someone who was asking. I tried to put it in a nutshell as best I could.
No.
There's a start.
So, when that person acts tough, and so does her sister, because you know, in the stuff that I had to survive this past week, and I said this is a survival video, and you can hear her evil ass sister also, you know, gay bashing me. Yeah. Right, slut shaming me.
I swear, some people need to develop thick skin. People say all kind of stuff, especially if they don't like you, and you guys have a history of going back and forth. And things are said on both sides. But somebody calls you a name or makes innuendos about something, say, so what? Who cares? Your feelings got hurt? Well, too freaking bad. You know, what happens when people decide to put their life or parts of their life into the public on Facebook? Not everybody's going to like you, and people are going to say things, and people are going to criticize, and some people are going to like you, but some people are not going to like you. That's what it's like to put your life out there to the public.
But this is the same person, you know, whose sister I survived, when she said that I was initiated into a gang. I'm not kidding. And that initiation involved a broomstick, and I was had been essayed by a broomstick. That's a wholesome, sweet, God-loving, blessed, you know, mera verga person that I guess wants you to believe that she's reformed or something. When, in my opinion, violence could never be reformed. Never be rehabilitated. You're violent. You're violent. You're violent. That's why she has the friends that she has. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All violent. You know? Yes. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sherry. She says it seems they set... One second. They set out to humiliate you, and that itself gives off such evil energy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hello, sir, Mr. Mitchell. Hello, Miss Coon said, good evening, beauty. Just popping in to let you know I am praying for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as tough as that person acts, when you make the implication, we all know that it's me that you're referring to, right? This is Ofelia Moreno that I'm surviving. You see, there's the difference. There's a difference. You see, I'm not doing what you're doing, so I can say your name. That right there, that's how you know things are not the same. Because all the things that you said, you will not say my name. And if you say my name, it will be allegedly this and that. I heard it on Facebook. Bullshit like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you can, all you want, and I will say the name just like I did right now. That is not a back and forth thing. That I'm fucking surviving you. I don't.
It is a back and forth thing. Because one says something, and then she has to come out of her hiatus to respond. And then she goes back into her little hiatus, she says. And someone else says something, well, then she's got to come back out of her hiatus. I couldn't do my hiatus because I have to come back because of this woman or this person. It's freaking dumb.
I don't care what you say. I don't care if you want to be a detective and be like, this is the way it's going to go if she were to go to the police, and I don't care. I'm just surviving you, just like I survived the person that recruited you, just like I survived everybody that sprouted up after you, just like I survived everybody that, joined forces with you and then you fucked them over. Because there is no honor amongst thieves.
Oh, God. Nobody recruited her. Oh, my goodness.
Nope.
Nancy, nope. Hi there.
No. So, as much as somebody, I guess one of y'all, went over to her sister's page and said, the Rainville PD is watching you or this and that or whatever. I wish that they would report that, just the way that, if you all know, you all have been following me, some old woman from Wholesome, somebody's grandma made a YouTube profile one time and shared clips from my civil case when the judge said, I'm going to hold anybody in the world in contempt of court, any American in contempt of court, if they do that. So this woman from Harlingen, somebody's grandma, I'm not kidding, made a profile with my name. And Judge Cordova thought that it was me. They went full CSI in that case. I'm not kidding. They couldn't do it in the case where my face was beaten. They couldn't roll out Ofelia Moreno. They couldn't, and they didn't. And I can say that with all my chest, and it's the truth. What's harassment is saying that you were ruled out when you weren't.
She was ruled out. Because she was never ruled in. There was nothing to rule her in on. They all had alibis. Solid. This is all in her head. She can't get past this. She can't get over this. Or if she can, she's pretending she can't. There is no existing case that's buried.
You were not. That's harassment. That is re-victimizing a victim. Re-victimizing a survivor.
You are re-victimizing yourself every time you go live and talk about all this. And if you want to keep doing it, well, I don't care. You keep doing it. That makes you feel better. There's definitely some kind of mental illness going on here.
No, you were not.
And I'm not, I don't say that as an insult. I say it for real. There's something wrong.
That's my case, I know. Right? So, I'm just, as tough as those, her and her sister are, right? Act, right? This person went over. That woman posted shit about the court, and anyways, they went full CSI and they found who the lady was. Yeah, they tracked down her, all that shit. They went full CSI. They did not go full CSI in the hate crime against me. But they went full CSI in a contempt of court case because they thought it was me. It was at a time when it was like anything social media is Vanessa Tijerino. I told the court, the clerk, and the judge, and my lawyer. I said, I hope they find out who it is. You know that they never asked me, they never sent me letters like they're supposed to. You're that lady's victim, and here we're doing what we're supposed to do. Here's the court. Why didn't they never wanted me to show up so that I can see them all have egg on their face? Oh, that's right. You all thought that the end of this was going to lead to me. That's because some of y'all are judges. Some of y'all went to law school. And if these judges and people with this kind of power think that they are that smart, can you imagine then how my haters think of themselves? Right? So anyway, somebody went to her sister's page and said, the Rainville PD is, first of all, you right away you should know that's not me. I do not rely on the local police department to help me. I hope that they will follow through with their duties when I call for extra patrol, and you know, that's all I can do is hope and pray that they do the right thing. They rescued me in that crime, which that person was never ruled out of, and neither was her other friends at the time. Okay?
They rescued her, yet they rescued her from that motel room where she was getting beat up. That's what she's talking about. So they rescued her, yet they want to accuse them of planting evidence in her car just to make her look bad, to get her arrested, to get a conviction or whatever else.
So, somebody went to her sister's page and said, the Raymondville PD's watching you, and they're waiting for, I don't know what she said, that they said. They're waiting for you to mess up or whatever, right? But what's interesting is, also, before, you know, also, she was like, why would somebody erase their videos? And it's like, I'm telling y'all, that was one of my posts this morning. I made 2 posts about misinformation. One of them stated, I don't delete my videos. I've had to download every single one of my live videos because Facebook doesn't save them anymore. After 30 days, Facebook erases live videos. So, but when that kind of riffraff is saying, right, and assuming, aha, why would you delete Facebook? My goodness, you have enablers. Your friends are they enable you. They give you ideas and do it this way or bring it this or talk about this story.
Sorry, but this is now just a bunch of just meaningless chat. I'm gonna skip a little bit.
Rehabilitated, but you fuck it all up all the time, right? Right? I attract really bad people. I attract really, really good humans to my energy. Yeah, Miss Winslow's one of them. And I love to see anybody have, you know, get something in their lives that they've been wanting for a long time. But especially when it's really good human, then they deserve it, and I like that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Debbie. And I know you are. That's why I know you are. Because you being happy is why I'm happy for you. And you deserve it. And we both know why you deserve it, not just because you're a good human. It's 11:11. It's 11:11. I always take a picture whenever I see 11:11, but I can't do that because I'm using my phone. Whenever I see 11:11, that tells me that whatever it is that I'm doing at that moment is that is confirmation from the universe, and that's what 11:11 means to me.
Okay, what? Confirmation of the universe from the universe that what? 1111 is a special number. That's my number. That's my birthday, 1111. So if my birthday's on 1111, what is the universe telling me?
Like, that there is no doubt in my mind now that this video needed to be done.
Do we have any 1010s? Any 1010s in here?
Yeah. Hi there, Miss Jess. Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Jess Marie. Happy birthday to you. You see, I read y'all's timelines. I remember. Anyways, I'm gonna let y'all go now. And I will probably deactivate. You know, that when I see somebody that I'm surviving, when I see somebody that has done so much damage, and I don't care if you tell me, don't bring me stuff from 5-6, I will fucking do exactly that. I will bring, no, because violence, in my opinion, can never be reformed. No.
So that's her thing now. And she's going to keep saying that. Violence can never be reformed. Watch. Next time she goes live, she's going to say the same thing. Violence can never be reformed. That's going to be her thing. Violence can never be reformed. And by the way, it can be. Just so you know.
No. And it fucking matters. And it fucking matters. And it fucking matters. I can just imagine. But anyway. So when I see somebody, especially a person who I have survived with a violent background, and is proud of it too, and has a lot of enablers, you know, whatever. Whatever I want, I will reactivate. Don't be surprised. Nobody should be surprised.
Nobody freaking cares. Seriously. Nobody freaking cares.
Nobody. Especially when I see, you know, like, nuh-uh, we're not going to be doing that. I don't have time. I do not have time for any coward moves and this and that. And if there's anything that I can do, if I can't stop it, at least I will put eyes on it. Shit. I'm being serious. I really don't care. I really don't care
She keeps saying she doesn't care, but she'll go on for 10 minutes about how she doesn't care when it's obviously that she does.
how I survive or how my survival offends anybody, because no.
Nobody gives a crap about your survival. Nobody's offended by your survival or whatever you think it is. She thinks people are offended by, man. I wish I had that video. For there's a glitch in my system and I can't play my sound effects. But somebody I have a video clip of somebody saying she is, and these are the initials. You know what this means? No, sorry, wrong one, wrong one. Wrong initials. There we go. You know what that means? FGB. I'm going to fix this problem so I can play that sound, that audio, the video. Actually, that's the video. Basically, she's a fat, greasy, and you can figure out that last word. It's freaking hilarious. It's almost over.
Constitutionally protected speech.
I'll say we got about 15 minutes left. Let me try to reduce that some.
I don't care if you do a video saying, this is... I don't care. It's you.
She cares.
It's you.
She cares.
I don't care. It's you. You don't use the word riffraff correctly. No. Miss Andrea says, it's been a long time since I've seen you, and I'm glad you're back. Strong woman you are. I might not agree with some things, but your strength is awesome. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. And, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say. All I know is that I have a strict alignment. As long as we understand that this is a survival page, and if I state I don't care if it's the King of England arguing with me. You're not going to change my mind unless you give me enough information that reasonably it's like, you know what, you have changed my mind. That rarely has ever happened, right? So we can't disagree, but I think we both know that even the people who disagree with me, I'd probably be that human that would probably help you in a moment in which I could probably help you more than your own family. And
oh my God, that is such bull crap with capital letters. She would not help anyone like that. Some of you don't know, somebody commented on one of her programs that she felt like taking her own life. They said, I feel like, I forgot if it was unaliving myself or I feel like hurting myself or not being here. It was something about, she wanted to take her own life. And Vanessa read that comment and she just ridiculed that person. Talked to her the wrong way, the way you're not supposed to talk to someone who is in that condition. That was bad. If you guys didn't see that, I can dig that up and maybe we can do it tomorrow. It's not real long, that segment, but it's like someone who's talking about taking their life, you don't talk to like that. You gotta be delicate. And she handled that. For being a nurse, she handled that absolutely horribly. That was a terrible, terrible moment.
And you know that, and you feel that, and I know that there's a lot of people that will never admit that, but they know that it's true. That's why a lot of people try to take advantage of me. That's why a lot of men try to talk to me.
No men try to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
She says men try to talk to her. You know, the guys from Pakistan and Thailand don't count because those guys are just looking for adult material, and you know, and they just want to treat their body like an amusement park while they're watching you. So they don't count.
And then they get it. It's almost as if they like, oh well, she's surviving something, and so you know, she's surviving. And what about it? Because I'm surviving what?
Yeah, what?
Goodbye? No. My goodness. Mm-mm.
All right, I'm going to
I
skip
love y'all
because
so much.
I'm getting tired. It's already 2:30 in the morning where I'm at. So let's get to that last good part. Everybody loves. I know you guys love it.
It's like if I met somebody and I fell in love with somebody and I knew that person, you know, it was my person, right? And I felt comfortable and safe and everything, I would move. If I knew that there was a low chance that I would get a failure to appear while I'm still surviving these fucking people, I would move.
I would say, you poor bastard, whoever that guy is. We got to try to help the guy and not let him get into this.
Absolutely. I would. I can't afford it. I can't. I love you, Sheena EM. Thank you. She says you are strong. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's right. Good morning, Nancy. It's up early in the morning where you're at.
Everybody's me.
Yeah, I'm at 2:30 a.m.
The other day she was gay bashing me. And that is one person that I will always, many of y'all have been targeted by people. I don't know if you realize this, but when people, whatever tactics somebody uses against you, it is because they think in their minds, they use things against you assuming that would really bother them. I'm going to do to that person what I know would bother me. Yeah, but I'm not you. I'm not you. So if you say that I was essayed with a broomstick, I will believe that somehow, in some way, a broomstick is very significant in your human experience somehow. With you.
Yeah, most people use it to sweep and clean their house. That's what people use a broom for usually. I know you don't. We've seen, so we know you don't. So that's what a broom is for usually.
With you or yours somehow. If you want to gay bash me and talk about, women, that go out with men to hide that they like older women, right? I will always believe that is something that is very significant about your human experience.
Because I'm not monetizing. Are you still here?
Everything that they use. It to me, it just tells so much about the person.
Okay, I'm gonna skip to the part I know you all love.
I don't know. I just wanted to mention it because I mentioned it earlier. 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 3 boys, and it goes the same for a physical A word. Physical. From adults and from 2 children from adults that they trust, right?
Okay. Yes. I knew you knew that. I knew it. That was when George said he was pleasuring himself and his mom walked in on him, caught him doing it. And then later, that she was in the hospital, right? They're doing a test, or she was getting some procedure done. And she mentioned catching him and treating your body like he was an amusement park. That's where I got that from. Seinfeld episode was freaking hilarious.
That there should trust, right? Man,
Oops.
I mean, I know it's bad right now. I know. Your grandmother was the great thing. And
We're
have
almost there.
interpersonal connections with other people.
We're almost there.
I'm divergent. She gave me the number one thing was stability. Every day of my 18 years was exactly the fucking same. Every day, every night, every morning I woke, every single day of my life was never different. And somebody with my kind of mind as a child, that yes, right? But she did not provide that to her children. You know? But she progressed as a human. Learning from our mistakes, right? And a lot of people are better grandparents than they were parents. And they may not even be perfect, you know? But at least they weren't as bad as their predecessors. No, I'm sorry if you went through anything. I'm sorry if you went through anything, and I'm sorry if your mom went through anything too. Okay, well, I'm gonna let y'all go. And I thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. My heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. I love that. I would always watch the Golden Girls with my grandmother, and I love it. The little music, you know how that song will play and then the show will start, but before the show starts, it like shows like a picture of the house on the outside where the lights are like going down or whatever, or it's daylight or whatever. Anyways, it has that little, you know, that little melody before that show actually starts, like right after that theme song. Anyways, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that Good night, y'all. I love y'all so much, and I stand by everything that I said. Everything. Gotta get arrested, whatever. Everything. All things being equal, till flashing lights show up. All of it, everything.
Didn't you say you were leaving? And you know, you guys might have heard it the first time, but she said it like 2 other times.
100% underscored, highlighted, boldened, all that, italic, underlined, everything. Okay. Yes. Oh, ditto Vanessa. Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Bye. Hopefully, I'll see you when September ends. Hopefully, if nobody's acting a fool.
Hopefully. I don't know what she's talking about. She makes it sound like somebody's going to do something to her. Because deep down, I've said this before, she's so twisted that I think she would welcome something happening to her so that she can exploit it. That's how twisted she is. So, alrighty. I'm cooked. I mean, stick a fork in me. I'm done. You guys, tomorrow. You know what? Let me turn this background off. Hang on. Just a moment. There we go. Tomorrow we're doing the raffle for the Apple Watch. I forgot. It's the latest series. It's a 44 millimeter. I think it's got a black strap or a gray, dark gray strap. These are going to be $5 uh, ticket for the raffle. Starting at it's $5 to get in on the raffle. But I will start this tomorrow. Too late right now. You guys have a great rest of your. Now it's Sunday, and stay cool. I don't know how many of you are in Texas, but it's really hot here in Texas. It's been over 100 degrees like forever, and then the humidity is up at 65%, so it's pretty bad. But that's all I got for now. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you guys. We will see you tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow, maybe a couple different times, and I will put that out there as soon as I'm able to. All right? You guys have a good night. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, hit the likes, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. Follow me on Facebook if you haven't, and please subscribe on YouTube at Manny's Hard Truth. I think that's it. Good night, everybody.